Wow, episode 16, end of season 1.
That's
We've
right.
come a long way.
Yeah, it has been a learning experience for, I'm sure, pretty much everybody involved. Unfortunately, today, Alex isn't here to enjoy this final recording with us, but I know on vacation, wherever he is, he's celebrating the end of this milestone with us.
Yeah, and even if he's not here at the moment, I can always use my editing magic to bring his thoughts into the episode later on.
Just as if he was with us all along.
Welcome to the Limelight podcast, your source for medical marketing news. Get insights into the latest trends, learn about groundbreaking marketing strategies, and discover the newest tools. We'll let you know what questions you should be asking and where to find the answers. All this and more brought to you by the team at Digital Limelight Media.
Welcome back to the podcast, Ryan. I know you're a natural podcaster, so I'm excited to talk to you today about reputation management.
Yeah, it's crazy, Jeff. I wasn't even sure if I would actually like doing these podcasts, but I feel like, I got enough knowledge. They're easy enough. So let's keep it going. I'm excited for you to have me back.
So let's jump right in. What is reputation management?
Yeah, so reputation management is really about the overall health of a practice or a physician from a review standpoint on the web. There are many different websites that people visit on a daily basis, and reviews are one of the most important aspects of making a solid and sound decision on which company or practice they move forward with.
Yeah, I know personally for me, when I'm looking for even just something as simple as a new place to try for lunch or dinner at a restaurant nearby, that I do look at reviews, or at least I take in the number of stars they have and the number of reviews, if not actually reading through them. So I can imagine for, somebody making as big a decision as a medical procedure, a cosmetic or aesthetic procedure, that reviews are obviously going to be very important. One thing I know from my experience is that reviews can be for a place and they can also be for kind of people, sometimes public figures, but especially in this space for doctors as well as their practices. Like doctors can be associated with multiple practices, and practices sometimes have multiple doctors. So I wanted to ask kind of, how are reviews for a practice different from reviews for a doctor, or how are they maybe the same in your opinion?
A lot of our clients, they're going to have, Google business pages for their overall practice, but they're also going to have a lot of these individualized review sources for the individual physicians. Google Business is going to be one of the more important ones that a lot of people are going to go to. But, it really depends on, is it going to be a group practice with multiple physicians, or is it a private practice with one physician? And again,
sure,
both of those types still are important. For instance, you have all these different sites such as Healthgrades, Vitals, WebMD, RealSelf. And a lot of times, patients, what they'll do is first they'll type in different keywords, such as, best plastic surgeons near me. They'll probably find a website. They'll start going through the website, figuring out which physician is going to meet their needs. And then from there, they're going to most likely go and start reading some of these reviews on like Healthgrades, Vitals, etc. Now, one of the reasons why these are so important is just because when people make this decision, it's a big decision that they're making. They're usually going to spend quite a bit of money, and they want to go and they want to read real reviews as opposed to just reviews that might be posted on a website that may not be from different public websites that are out there that everyone sees. And so it's one of those things that is very important, is just making sure that you're getting these reviews on all of these different sites, that you're maintaining a healthy, review rating. At the end of the day, a perfect 5 almost seems too good to be true. 4.9, in my opinion, is always the sweet spot because it's real and it's also really good.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned perfect 5 is artificial almost, in a way that people will just kind of be like, oh, that can't be right. That literally cannot be right. So finding that balance between, obviously, yes, highly rated, but also real at the same time. That's a great point. We have to take a quick break, but then we'll get back into more detail about how DLM helps practices manage all the reviews they receive with our proprietary tool, DLM Review.
If you're looking for a better way to capture leads and make a personal connection with potential patients, Digital Limelight Media has a revolutionary tool for you. Our marketing experts have developed Iris Text AI, an online tool that connects your staff to website leads through text rather than emails, fostering a closer relationship with increased conversion rates. Learn more about Iris Text AI by emailing us at info@dlmconversion.com. That's info@dlmconversion.com.
We're back with Ryan, our SEO specialist and partner here at DLM, talking about how to maintain your reputation online with DLM Review. Before the break, we were talking about how reviews play a role in reputation management, Ryan, but how important are they really?
Oh man, reviews are literally one of the single most important factors for any successful practice. 95% of shoppers read reviews on sites before making a purchase. 84% of people trust online reviews as much as they trust recommendations from a friend. And I mean, this is huge just because with a lot of practices, the patients who refer other patients, those ones convert way easier. 84% of them trusting them almost as much is just absolutely huge. And then 75% of people online trust a business after seeing a positive review. And so again, you can look at it as, okay, there's this practice up the road and this doctor, maybe you went and met with him, maybe you didn't, but you go to read reviews, and if there are none compared to someone else who maybe you didn't like them as much, but they have a lot of positive reviews, you would probably go to that other person, or at least I would. And so again, that's why a lot of these different reviews are just so important.
Yeah, so here at DLM, we use an internal tool called DLM Review, spot on name, to manage reviews and help clients hit that sweet spot that you mentioned earlier of like having a really highly rated practice, but it's not 5 stars across the board so that it still feels real. So could you talk about how DLM Review works to help practices get more positive reviews?
Oh, absolutely. I'm really excited for this. So I was one of the people who helped develop the DLM Review tool. And it's actually one of the things that I'm most proud of over here at DLM. DLM Review, it works in two different ways. First, it helps gather positive reviews by sending out either an email or a text to different opportunities who have had an interaction with the practice, whether it was a consultation or a surgery. In DLM Review, there are also different workflows that are set up. And what it does is it helps maximize the probability of them leaving a review. For example, if someone were to get either a text or an email and they open it, but they don't click the link that's in it, which will take them to a landing page, then what's going to happen is the chances are they did not leave that review. And so, typically we set it up to where they'll get a campaign immediately after they leave the office, then another one 3 days after that if they haven't clicked the link within it, and then a final one 4 days after that. So it's typically going to be a 7-day process. And how it works is if they open the email but didn't click it, they're going to get that second one. If they open the email and click the link, then they're going to stop getting those new review links. What's nice about this is we also send them to a landing page where if they do click it, it gives you a thumbs up or thumbs down. If they click the thumbs up, then what's going to happen is it's going to show them the different profiles that they can leave a review on. And if they click thumbs down, then what we're going to do is we're not going to show them those profiles, but we want to know what went wrong so that we can get their feedback. Now, with that said, this brings me to the second thing that it does, which is it captures the feedback instead of allowing them to leave a negative review. And in my opinion, the feedback is some of the most important things you can get from patients.
So yeah, you say there's this sort of two-pronged approach of soliciting reviews, but also responding to them. So is review feedback like more important than the getting a new review? How do those things relate to each other? And I guess if they're both really important, then which ones? I guess I want to know which one's more important.
That's a great question. And in some ways, the feedback is more important than the reviews. At the end of the day, the feedback is all about improving the overall patient experience within the practice. And, there are so many little things that can agitate a patient to make them leave a negative review and actually ruin the overall experience of patients coming into the practice. To kind of give you an example, I have seen people getting upset because the bathroom doors were locked or they did not have a coffee machine. And it's funny because little things like that are really easy to fix, but the problem is you just don't know about them. It can cause negative reviews. Now, I mean, there's also been instances to where I've also seen the staff did not knock before entering one of the rooms before, and the patient was changing. And I mean, as you can expect, yes, I'm sure that that patient was upset, but again, it's a little change that you can make to never run into that issue again just by addressing it with the staff. And again, that patient who probably did not spend money with the practice because that happened, it can easily be avoided. And if you didn't know about it, it could continue to happen over and over again and start costing a lot of business. And so, yeah, to answer your question, they're both very, very important, which is why we built both of them into the tool. But yeah, sometimes the feedback could be more important, in my opinion.
Yeah, and at least when you're thinking about feedback, it's almost like feedback itself is paying attention to the comment. Like you said, if it's something simple like adding a convenience in the waiting room or something like that, that's a very simple fix. It's a cheap fix for practice typically, and you wouldn't necessarily know that if you weren't paying attention to the reviews that are coming in and being active and responding to the ones that are negative or that aren't ideal, just to know what people's experience were in your practice in a realistic sense. So yeah, it's great. That's good to know. We're going to take another brief break and come back to talking about what our review management tool looks like when it's live on your site.
Hi, I'm Jackie Smith, a content writer here at Digital Limelight Media. What I like most about working here is the great company culture and how our team is able to help medical practices manage the parts of their business that we're experts in. If you or someone you know have experience in marketing, writing, SEO, or sales, we'd love to meet you. Feel free to reach out by emailing your resume with the subject line, Hire Me, to info@dlmconversion.com. That's info@dlmconversion.com.
So Ryan, let's say we've got some people listening who want to try out DLM Review, or at least want to know more about it on their site and how it would integrate with their specific design and layout and structure. What happens after a client signs with DLM Review?
Once they sign up, what we do is we work to add all of your different positive reviews from some of the different external sources. If some of the sources are just really, really bad, like maybe it's like 3.5, which again, it does happen from time to time because there are so many profiles out there, then what we would do is we would avoid adding that just because we don't want it to carry down the overall aggregated review number.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, though, we also have a widget that allows new reviews to flow onto the review page automatically if they meet a certain criteria. So the criteria I typically set is going to be any review that is 4 stars or above will automatically flow onto the website. And what's really cool about this is because all the new ones are going to flow up to the top. It happens automatically. You don't have to keep an eye on it. But again, why that's important is because it allows them to see a lot of different social proof. And so the other thing that it does too is we also add the review star rating within the footer. And what this does is it allows us to add review snippets, which will show up in the organic search results. So I don't know if you've seen this before, but if you type in certain keywords, sometimes what you'll do is you'll see like a little orange yellowish stars that are underneath the organic result. They might say like 4.9 based on like 800 reviews. And this is one of those things that DLM Review does as well. The reason that that's important is because having those reviews allows your listing to stand out compared to all the other ones that don't have it. And what that'll do is it'll improve the overall click-through rate, which also leads to higher rankings. And so DLM Review, it does a lot because it does even more than just help get you new reviews. It also helps, improve your overall organic rankings.
Yeah, I mean, now that you mentioned it, I've seen those review stars that you're kind of talking about flowing through the website, like in the footer. And it is cool thinking about it after you've mentioned it, how it does like automatically just pull real reviews, obviously. How do they improve a practice's chance of bringing in new patients or at least increasing their website performance?
So there's so many practices to where you'll go to their website, they'll have a review page, and literally they will have all these different reviews that some of them are probably like, 10, 15 years old. And yeah, it's nice to read these, but at the end of the day, what I always think is, did you write those yourself? Are you sure that was a patient that wrote those? And that's one of the, in my opinion, is one of the biggest issues is doing it that way. It's really hard to get that social proof. Doing it, the new way to where you're really getting all these reviews on all of these different platforms. Number one, you're getting patients from the different platforms, whether they visit Health Grades, WebMD, Vitals, etc. You have a good chance of being able to scoop up some extra patients even without organic rankings. What you're able to do is to go to a website, to your page, and you'll see all the different reviews showing up. And with those reviews, it'll say the source. So like if it says the Google source, you can click that and it'll take you right to the Google review to where you can read it. Again, you can read other reviews on that same profile as well, but it really helps establish that social trust that is very, very important. And I mean, at the end of the day, the way I see it is if you're giving the patients new reviews, you're telling them the different sources that they're coming from, you're being very, very transparent. And it's something to where you're at least showing them how proud you are of how you conduct business within your practice. And I think that's one of the things that really goes into helping sell some of these, helping sell them on your services even before they come into the practice to meet you.
Now that we've heard all about DLM Review and what it has to offer, what would you say someone should do if they're interested in maybe thinking about adding DLM Review to their website?
Yeah. I mean, if they're interested in adding DLM Review, if it's an existing client, just get in touch with your marketing specialist. If it's a new opportunity, you can email us at info@dlmconversion.com. Again, it's info@dlmconversion.com. And, if you reach out to us, and whether you want to just try it, we could probably even do a free trial. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. At the end of the day, anyone who tries it is going to see how beneficial it is for the overall success of the practice.
Well, I feel like Ryan was a great guest to have for our final episode of this first season. He's got such a natural flow, and honestly, I truly believe he's a born podcaster. So as we close out this chapter of the Limelight podcast, I want to say thank you to our wonderful guests who've spent part of their busy days with us in what can certainly be a strange new environment, something that's definitely not part of their job description, but nonetheless, they helped us create something really fun here.
Thank you, Jeff, for all your help and for being a great co-host. I'm very excited to continue finding more opportunities for us to discuss important items in our space in the future. Bringing in thought leaders from our agency has been great, and hopefully we can go beyond DLM and bring in additional voices to discuss design, SEO, digital marketing, and more. What I also love about this podcast is it exemplifies a couple of DLM's core values of being transparent and customer-centric. We're happy to bring that to you, and many thanks to Andrew, our producer, who works hard to bring it all together. Take it away, Andrew.
Yeah, it's been great getting to know both of you better over the last few months. I'm excited to see where the podcast goes in the future. And as always, if anyone is interested in any of our services that we offer here at DLM, don't hesitate to reach out to us at info@dlmconversion.com. That's info@dlmconversion.com.
Thanks for joining us on the Limelight podcast. We hope you learned something new today that adds value to your practice. Remember to talk to an expert about your specific situation before making decisions based on the information provided in this podcast. Digital Limelight Media LLC, its employees, partners, sponsors, and guests are not responsible for any action taken or not taken as a result of listening to this podcast. As always, we welcome your questions and encourage you to reach out about any of the services we offer at DLM. Have a great day.
We out.
And we out.